get started, I just want to inform you guys that I'm going to put out 2 links in the description box so you guys can check it out. One is from Ringside News and the other one is from Cultaholic. They're pretty much talking about the same thing regarding of 2K20, but they're just wording it differently. But I'll read one snip of it from Ringside News and the other one run from Cultaholic. Those 2 articles. So, with that being said, after reading those 2 articles, in my opinion, I personally feel like that I have no hope for 2K20 progressing. As a matter of fact, I have no hope for 2K21. I have no hope for any wrestling game to move forward in general. But I could be wrong. And I'm hoping to be proven wrong. I'm hoping things will turn out the better for 2K21 and for future games. But in my opinion, I honestly don't see the game being better moving forward. If you guys are asking why I'm being so pessimistic about that, well, I'll just read one itself, as a matter of fact. So, this one is from Cultaholic, and I'm going to read this snip of it first. So, if you guys are unaware, WWE video game future in question has multiple employees quit over 2K20's disaster. And then this one person said it on Cultaholic, and this person said, and I quote, "I heard about double-digit numbers of people on the team who quit. They haven't quit for other stuff. They just quit because it's like, man, I don't want this stink on me anymore. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm leaving. I'm taking my stuff and going." So, in other words, for those who pretty much made the game, they're just going to walk out because they don't want the burden on their shoulders for pretty much making this awful game. So for those who are still currently in 2K right now, they're going to have the burden on their shoulders. And if they somehow screw up 2K21, that's going to be on their conscience. So that's going to screw them up. That's going to make them have the guilty conscience. That's going to have people like me and many others go after them because of how they bring the game, of just how they release the game, of how they pretty much put out the game. Still asking myself, like who gave it the green light and just thought to themselves, you know what, it's a great idea to let this game go out, even though it has a lot of glitches, it's broken, it's a disaster, but we're still gonna let it go out there. I mean, sure, why not? I mean, 'cause at the end of the day, people are still gonna buy their games. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna notice the problems, the glitches, etc. And it turns out gamers became beta testers than the 2K beta testing themselves. And I find that absolutely ludicrous. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read one snip of it from Ringside News. So, this one says that when something does bad in the WWE franchise, they cut the budget. So with that being said, WWE 2K21 will be made for much less money. That seems to be a bridge they have yet to be crossed. But they will have less money to work on the game and about 10 less people to do it. Now, some people might be thinking that is a good thing or a bad thing. In my opinion, I think it's a bad thing because, again, for those who are currently at 2K right now, that's going to put a lot of hard work on them. It's going to put more work on them, and people that left, they don't want all the craziness on them, so now all the craziness is going to people that are currently working at 2K right now. And speaking of 2K20, I have to say this, and this is just my opinion. I know I keep talking about hashtag fix WWE 2K20, along with many other people, because at the end of the day, we just want the game to be completed. But after reading those 2 articles, I have no hope for this game to progress any longer. And like I mentioned numerous of times, they're pretty much done with 2K20, and they're just gonna move on with the next wrestling game and just hope that nothing bad will go with 2K21. But after hearing the budget cross, and again, like that hasn't been confirmed yet, but after hearing that, I feel like that's gonna be another major disaster on 2K20's part. I mean, on 2K's part. And this is just my opinion as well. I feel like 2K should definitely lose the licensing, or should I say WWE licensing, and just give it to another gaming developer. Another gaming developer that knows something about wrestling. And for the love of God, I don't want to hear EA, because in my opinion, EA is another disaster, another garbage, awful gaming company. I feel like if they were to own WWE right now, I'm going to be hearing loot boxes and microtransactions. And that's going to be a major disaster with with wrestling games. Bad enough that they ruined Star Wars Battlefront. I can't imagine what they would do if they had the licensing for WWE. But I digress. But again, I keep talking about hashtag fix WWE 2K20, and I feel like that is officially dead for me. I'm not even going to talk about it any longer, because I feel like after hearing this, there is no point to be talking about hashtag fix WWE 2K20 if a few employees left and just gave it to people that are currently working at 2K. So I don't know, man. This makes me think of if this is going to get any better or this is going to get any worse. And one more thing before I go. I know people keep talking about UECs this, UECs that, UECs will come back, this and that. Unless I hear from UECs itself that they're going to make a comeback and just make wrestling games yet again, I don't want to hear anybody or any news site out there talking about UECs unless I hear it from UECs itself. So I'm tired of hearing that UECs will make a comeback, because I haven't heard nothing from UECs itself. Granted, they have made tremendous, awesome wrestling games, and it's the reason why people still play the games to this day. But unless I hear something from them making a comeback, I don't want to hear anything about UECs coming back moving forward, unless I hear from them. So, yeah, that's how I personally feel about 2K and just 2K20 itself. I mean, but after seeing 2K20 being released like that, I'm trying to ask myself, how can people have any motivation or any hype moving forward after seeing WWE 2K20 being released like that? Like, it's bad enough that 2K15 was garbage. This one took the cake. And the fact that it's not going to progress moving forward, I mean, they had 3 patches. And it's still broken. It's still a mess. How's that possible? Now, again, granted, people like myself has said, well, they could have delayed the game. They could have done it until the game was actually ready. But that would require a lot of negotiation, a lot of investment, a lot of time, and a lot of conversation between WWE and 2K. Because I feel like at this point, you shouldn't release the game yearly, every year, because after seeing that should be a wake-up call for WWE and 2K to realize, you know what, we can't do this any further. We can't keep releasing the game out like this every year, because, like, it just pretty much says it all. The game, it's a disaster. So, what's just gonna happen with future wrestling games moving forward? Are you still willing to make the game out every year? I mean, God forbid, if it turns out to be if 2K21 turns out to be exactly like 2K20 or even worse, I feel like nobody should buy 2K, or full price, I should say. No one should spend $60 to $90 or $100 on 2K if they decide to not progress the game. And anyone that bought this game should be a wake-up call. I wouldn't even buy it if it was on sale. Granted, it was on sale. It was on a Black Friday sale. It was a 50% off. And even so, it wasn't enough for me to buy the game. Because even if I were to buy the game, the game is still incomplete. I wouldn't even buy it if it was $2. I wouldn't even buy it if it was 50 cents. In my opinion, that game should have been free. Because at least, even though the game is glitch, at least people had to spend a dime on it, knowingly well that the game was a disaster. 2K robbed you guys. They have legally robbed you guys, thinking that you guys were going to be okay with this broken mess. And boy, they were wrong. But how do you manage to go from this to 2K20. How do we get from this end right here? How? I don't know, man. Like I said, I have no hope for 2K20 to move. And I think Fix 2K20 should be dead permanently. And I don't know about any future games moving forward. If it's going to turn out to be another hashtag, that should be a wake-up call that people should even buy the game permanently. But then again, it's their money. They could do whatever they want. And if you feel like the game is worth buying, I mean, hey, go for it. 'Cause I know people have pretty much enjoyed the game aside from the glitches. But, I mean, hey, if people enjoy the game, I say more power to them. It's their money. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But, in my opinion, nobody should be happy with a broken, incomplete mess. And that's how I feel. Anyways, I'm done here. If you guys want to check out the 2 articles, like I mentioned, link is in the description. And I'm out.